Hey guys, welcome to podcast number 3, 2 in a week. That is the spirit, y'all. So this week I'll be talking about some epic stuff. But first off, I got some beef jerky, and that's gonna go in my stomach when it comes in next month. So thank you guys from Chief Beef Jerky for making the best jerky in the world. So thank you guys for that. Just gonna try and find my notes. There they are. Okay, so what's been happening this week? Sad news is to all my friends and family in Victoria that there is another COVID outbreak, which is wreaking havoc in Victoria at the moment, which is really bad, and I hate seeing that all my Melbourne friends have to wear masks again, and it really sucks, sucks because I want to go there by the end of this year, and I don't want any COVID during that time, so I'm really hoping I can go there. And yeah, so pretty much this guy from like South Australia, so he quarantined in South Australia first, and then he got tested negative on his last day, came to Victoria and still was shredding the virus. And then for some reason, after the first little outbreak, there was a massive one when he spread it to this other guy, but they haven't found him, but because he's already recovered. He had COVID, didn't have any symptoms, and spread it to all other people. Now there's about 19 cases altogether, so that kind of sucks. So we have to wait and see for the latest update tomorrow, and then they're probably going to go in lockdown, which is really sad. So if any of you Melbourne friends and my love can hit me up in the comment section, that would be much appreciated. And please, we need to get back onto house party calls, because house party calls are legendary and a massive ace, and also legendary as well, 100%. So the next topic I want to get into is the Ashe segment. So, awesome moment of today, shitty moment of today, hot and spicy of the day. So awesome moment was seeing my nan at Oxford Yard, and then we just had a nice chat, and she was seeing a movie, so it was nice to see her today, and she was very happy. And then my other thing was that so my shitty moment was probably just trying to upload some documents onto Blackboard. It's pretty shit, to be honest. I mean, I don't like Blackboard, so I have a grudge on Blackboard now because it was being shitty. And I think Word was being shitty on me, and Outlook was being shitty on me, so I hate them now. And then my hot and spicy moment of this week was getting a coffee, because the coffees that are made from both Oxford Yard and Field and Vincent's are the best coffee in Perth. So you need to get your coffee from there if you are epic coffee lovers, because they are the best in the world, and they deserve a lot of credit for the coffee they make every day. So, next thing to talk about is more stuff about the COVID in Victoria, because pretty much around this year, it's been a year since the COVID outbreak back last year. And last year was very hard because, it affected a lot of people in a bad way. There was this pretty much like a 4-month lockdown, which was really bad, and everyone had to do online learning, and all the year 12s were like getting stressed because they didn't know if WACE exams, actually VCE exams were going to happen. So it was, really intense time. I wasn't myself that time either. And I really want to go back there again because I want to watch the footy. I want to see my friends. I want to go on dates. I want to lose my virginity. So yeah, it's it's my vibe. It's my second state. It's like a home to me. So it's really important. If I can go down there by end of this year, that'll be really good. So yeah, that'll be it for the Victoria COVID outbreak segment. And now I'm going to talk to you about today, because I woke up today and it was just another cold morning. So in the morning I had to wear 4 layers. I only got 2 now because it's warmed up a bit, but I wore a jumper and I wore my big jumper as well, and it was so cold. And then I called Nan, and then I walked all the way from my house just to the bus station on Scarra Beach Road. And then I caught the bus, the 402 bus, and then I got off near Loftus Street, and then I crossed the road, and then I got my coffee at Oxford Yard, and then I chilled for a bit. Always chill when I have my coffee. I need to have my coffee in debrief time. And then afterwards I went into class, and it was very epic to the max, and I finished one of my units, so I'm very close to finishing most of my TAFE stuff anyway. And then afterwards, I went to Oxford Yard. Nan was there, so I got myself a sausage roll, and it's the best sausage rolls in my life. Like, I adore those sausage rolls. They're pretty, you get an orgasm having them. So it was very nice sausage roll. And then I had Angie's class, but I left about 10 minutes after, because I only had to do one thing, and my practical's next week, not this week. So hopefully I smashed that out, and then I caught the 15 bus, and I walked up Coogee Street and then to Green Street, and then I got back home. So I was fine. Now I'm filming this podcast because why not? And because it's a Wednesday, hopefully I get those views on the YouTube. So if anyone that is not subscribed, can you please subscribe? That's going to really help the channel grow in popularity. And please comment, share, and press the notification button so that you know when Ashe Boy is going to release these podcasts. Alrighty then. So, let's talk about AFL Banter. I'm going to talk about AFL Banter. Hopefully I can get to maybe the 17 minute mark, or I can get it to maybe 25 minute mark, around then, because I really want to oomph this conversation. So, umpires tribunal and the match review office, so the MRO, all 3 of those places within the AFL industry are not working together, and they're making very dumb decisions. The umpires' decisions are dumb. Do not blame the umpire, blame the umpire's decisions. Boo at the umpire's decisions, but don't boo the umpire. They're not bad people. They make mistakes sometimes, but it's not good when they make mistakes in the last quarter, in the last couple minutes. Tribunal is making some dumb decisions by suspending players that should not be suspended and only should be fined like $2,000 at least. There's a lot of racism that's going on in the AFL, especially to Indigenous players, and the other factor is the MRO is making mistakes just the same as the tribunal. So shout out to Michael Christensen. You need to go and isolate, man. Alright, so first off, the first bit I want to talk about is the umpires, because honestly, I reckon last year the umpires were just so bad. Like, honestly, they were like one of the worst things I've seen in my entire life. And they're making dumb decisions in the last couple minutes, especially this year. And because last year they weren't training, so they had a major excuse. But this year's no exception. So round 2, Brisbane Geelong, and no offence, Geelong should have lost that game because Zach Bailey tackled Mark Beelcloves. Mark Beelcloves deliberately handball it down the bound, like the out of fools, and then it was just a throw in instead. And Geelong won by a couple points, and Brisbane got robbed. The only thing is, at least bloody Zach Bailey was able to kick that goal against Collingwood, and now Brisbane are quite a alpha team right now. They're up there with Geelong and they're up there with Melbourne. Bulldogs are like on another level, so we have to be careful with the Bulldogs, who Geelong haven't played yet. And then, so in the Geelong and Sydney Swans match, Jeremy Cameron marked the ball and they made a mistake and didn't pay him the mark, which was so absolute shit. Geelong should have at least a lot of points in the bag. They don't, which is bad, and I'm upset about that. Very upset about that loss. We should have won that game, and we got robbed by the umpires, which is no good, because we don't deserve to be robbed by the umpires, and the umpires need to get their grip and maybe employ some more female umpires. The couple of female umpires that are in the AFL are really good, really talented umpires. So bring more female umpires to the game. They'll be really good. And the men can fuck off. So, the MRO. So the MRO is led by Michael Christensen, and he decides if a player's conduct is bad or if it's okay. Now, there was a few this week that were very controversial, and Nick Holman got off not being suspended, and his case was withdrawn. So when he did his tackle was amazing, but it was not that good that Mitch Duncan got concussed. But the thing is, Nick Holman got a free kick by the umpires, and then the MRO says, "Oh no, 2-week suspension, mate." It's like, come on, that's not fair. He didn't deserve to be suspended, Nick Holman. So MRO needs to get their grip together. And then Lockie Plowman went to the MRO, bloody 2-week suspension, went to the tribunal. They heard the case for about 2 hours, and then they haven't upheld it, so they're going to appeal it again. So he needs to get a fine. It's so stupid that he's suspended for 2 weeks for nothing. And that's bad enough, because the tribunal was just as worse as the MRO and the umpires. They're just making dumb decisions this week, and I don't understand. And I reckon the reason behind the COVID outbreak is because of these stupid AFL decisions that are happening in the game. And it's not that good, because it makes my brain lose all my brain cells, and then if I lose all my brain, then I won't be doing the podcast, and then I'll lose all my subscribers, and then I'm going to cry and get depressed and stuff. I don't want to do that. I don't want to get depressed. I want to feel stress-free from all this shit. So yeah, and the other thing is there's a lot of racism going on in the AFL at the moment. You got Shay Bolton, you got one... Yeah, let's talk about Shay Bolton first. So Shay Bolton, he got fined $20,000, and he has to donate all that money for trying to step in to protect Dan Rioli and her girlfriend, because this guy was harassing Dan Rioli's girlfriend, which is fucking bullshit. The AFL has said, "Oh, we're going to give you $20,000 fine for protecting your mate and his girlfriend." It's like, come on. He was a good bloke. He stepped in, tried to protect Dan Rioli and his girlfriend, and he got pretty much a shoulder injury from that, which is so bad. And I think Gillan McLaughlin should get the sack or something like that, and he can get COVID. And also the other incident with another Richmond player was Marlon Pickett. So Marlon Pickett, he got a 1 match suspension over a strike on a Brisbane player, which was Brendan Startovich. There was nothing to it. He went back on and played, and he got 1 match, which is so dumb, because Cole Hartigan deserves to be suspended because he's an absolute dog cunt. Beep. Beep, beep, beep. You're not allowed to say that word in YouTube. So, beep, the C word. So, yeah, Cole Hartigan got suspended for 3 matches for that strike. And then Marlon Pickett gets a strike for that, and he got 1 week. Then all the commentators are saying all these racial type comments, which is not great for the game, and it brings the integrity of the game to distribute and disruption. So racist, some of the commentators, like they say some stuff that I don't even understand. You know, it's not even my cup of tea, really. And the really Rioli stuff is so bad. I get so frustrated by the Asada. The Asada are such dogs, and they like waited for the case for about a year, and then they give the verdict to Willie Rioli, and Willie Rioli hasn't been playing footy that much. He's been on the Tiwi Islands, Northern Territory, and like he's trying his best to, you know, try and get back the footy, but he only had a little bit of dose on him. Like, come on, doesn't deserve to be treated like crap. And hopefully the Eagles get to play him in the waffle, because I want to see him play, because he's an amazing player, and he was one of the reasons why Eagles got into the grand final. So yeah, that's the controversial part of the AFL banter done. Now I'm going to do a review of all the teams in the AFL and talk about where I reckon they're going to be. So let's start with Adelaide Crows. So Adelaide Crows, bloody hell, how's it? They beat Melbourne by 1 point. It was one of the most amazing surprises I've ever seen. You know, a few years ago it wouldn't be a surprise back in 2017, but a surprise this year. And I reckon Adelaide, the next couple of years, you watch out, they might make finals. So watch out for the Adelaide Crows in the next couple of years, because they beat Geelong, they beat Melbourne, which is a really good strength in their side to beat some good teams. So I reckon they'll finish 12th or something like that, because honestly, they deserve the credit and they don't deserve to be bottom 4. Second team, Brisbane. Their midfield is jacked. Their forward line is jacked. Like Joe Danaher, Charlie Cameron, Jared Lyons, Hugh McLaughlin, Dane Zorko, even Lockie Neal when he was playing, but he got injured. So jacked, I reckon top 4 for them. Carlton, inconsistent team. I'm really disappointed in Carlton, and the fans need to get the team together, same as the coach, otherwise he's going to get the sack, which will be sad because he's a good coach. Carlton are just in the boat right now. They're in purgatory, and Patrick Cripps is not playing good, so they need to step up their game, otherwise they're going to be crap all year. Fourth team, Collingwood, they're just crap. Why is Buckley not sacked? If Bucks don't get sacked by the end of this year, I'm going to neck myself. I really am going to neck myself. They're the crappiest team I've ever seen in my whole damn life. I take no Nathan Buckley, and if Nathan Buckley arrived at my border, he'll be gone like a minute, like a second. And I can't stand Nathan Buckley. He needs to get the sack. He does not belong in our country. Nor does Collingwood. So, Nathan Buckley, get the sack. Essendon. I'm really surprised about Essendon. Their younger players have really stepped it up for their team, and they're making the good dividends and, you know, playing really well, good footy and stuff. I'm really excited with the squad, and I really hope Essendon start, you know, making finals in the next couple of years. Dockers. Come on, Dockers. This year, I reckon you could sneak in. Alright? You beat GWS. I reckon you got a chance, boys. Your finals, you know, slim is not over yet. You got the talent. You got the boys. You got the boys. You're the boys. You got the boys from the Dockers. I reckon next year, definitely finals. And if you don't make finals next year, I will neck myself. Next team is Geelong. Geelong, such an alpha team. We've got let's start off with the backmen. Tom Stewart, Jake Colajasny, Mark O'Connor. Isaac Smith is just a legend. Tom Atkins in the back line was a good move, moving him out of the forward line. Who else in the... Mark Bilcloves. Mark Bilcloves as a ruckman is really good. Hopefully he stays the ruckman for our team. And then our midfield is jacked full of talent. It's sad that Patrick Dangerfield's injured, but we got so much talent in our team. We've got Mitch Duncan. We've got Joel Selwood, mate. We got Sam Menegola, mate. We got Radagalia. You know, we've got a lot of players in our team that are going to fill the roles in our club, you know. So we got all those midfielders, and then our forward line is jacked, man. It's so jacked that those calf muscles are like burning full of energy. Gary Rowan, Tom Hawkins, Jeremy Cameron, Luke Dollhouse, Guy Myers, Brandon Parfit. The talent is endless. And do not forget Quinton Narkle, one of the best youngsters in the game, and I reckon he deserves credit for everything he does. Gold Coast. Gold Coast are lame. Gold Coast are a big disappointment. I don't feel like talking about them because I feel bad for Will Power. But like honestly, don't sack the coach, but to list a lot of their players, man, they need to move to Tasmania and they can be called the Tasmania Suns. Because honestly, they're just so crap that they can't even play a proper game of footy. They're so inconsistent. They were exciting against Eagles and then they drop the ball when Matt Rowell gets injured. Every time Matt Rowell gets injured, they don't seem like they want to play footy anymore, which sucks. Next team is GWS. So GWS are they had an up and down. So they started really crap. Honestly, I thought they were a bottom 4 team and rolled them out for finals. Now they're finals back now. So I used to cross them out and now I gave them 3 ticks. They've made the most improvement in the past month. It's sad that Jesse Hogan's been injured for a lot of it. And a lot of the other players. But the good thing is like Josh Kelly is back to his best form. You got Tom Green playing his best games in his career. Lachlan Ashe, Lockie Whitfield. And they've got a lot of youth in their team. They've got a good squad, so they'll make finals, I reckon. They're a team that could knock off Richmond, and Richmond might not even play finals this year. It's pretty iconic. Hawthorn, crap. Yeah, Hawthorn are really crap. So, you know, CJ was exciting, but he's had a quiet couple games. And I don't like what Hawthorn are doing at the moment. How do you lose to North fucking Melbourne? Come on. Shout out to Kira because she's a North Melbourne supporter. But Hawthorn are crap and they deserve to be bottom 4. Next team is Melbourne. They are such an alpha team. Shout out to Millie Randall. She is the most amazing girl in the world and I love her so much. Melbourne is such an alpha team. You got Max Gawn. You got Clayton Oliver. You got Christian Petrarca. You got Jake Lever. You got Stephen May. Forward line. You got Tom McDonald. Ben Brown can't even get a game in it. You got Sam Wiedemann. Pickett. Bailey Friedrich. Such an amazing team. Spargo. Charlie Spargo. And do not forget that guy that was on the Jamro Dillon show, Trent Rivers. Absolute gun. So their whole team are absolute guns and they deserve to win the 2021 Premiership, just like Geelong and Western Bulldogs. Next team, North Melbourne. Really bad game against Essendon. They lost by 72 points. I reckon they're a pretty disappointing team. They are quite lackluster and they need to rebuild, to list some players, get some youth in their team and they'll be okay in the next maybe 20 years. Okay, let's get on to Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide haven't been playing as good as they were last year. I reckon they'll be around 6th or 5th. They've got a good team, but Charlie Dixon is having a crappy season and he needs to stamp up his game, otherwise he'll be a major disappointment to Port's finals hopes being dropped. And I don't think they'll be in the premiership window, but they'll be up there for semi-finals. So I think they'll drop the ball next year or something like that. So we have to wait and see. Let's have a look at Richmond. Richmond. I reckon they're not going to win the premiership. I do not see it. Players injured, near the bye, and they're just not playing good. They've lost to Geelong, absolutely thrashed. Lost to Melbourne. They only beat Bulldogs. They lose to Brisbane. They lose to Port. It's like, come on. And you even beat GWS. You only beat them by like a goal. So to give them credit, they're not as a good team as last year. So I reckon they might drop the ball or something. Saints, oh my God. Might as well neck myself right now talking about St Kilda. It's really sad because they were great last year and I thought they'll be top 4. I reckon they'll be bottom 4, like 17th. I reckon they could lose to North Melbourne. No joke. They're just so crap. How can you lose 111 points? Come on. Come on. Boys, what's going on at your club? There must be a mental health thing going on at your club because honestly, it's so bad, and I hate to say it, but I reckon St Kilda have dropped the ball. Hashtag Sydney Swans. Let's talk about Sydney Swans. Shout out to Mr. Conduit, the best teacher at Church and Senior High School. Hashtag facts. So, Sydney Swans, epic team, star-studded side. Lost to Dockers and Gold Coast, which doesn't make sense at all. But they could be a team that finished like 7th or 8th. They'll make the elimination final, but I don't think they'll win it. No, I'm not convinced if they'll win the premiership. So I reckon the next couple of years they'll do, but not now. But players like Buddy Franklin's back to his best form, which I'm really proud of, but I don't really care. Tom Pabley's a great player. He's one of my favourite players for the Sydney Swans. You got Luke Parker, you got Josh Kennedy. Got a lot of players that are in there that want to play good footy. So, it's really exciting for the boys and hopefully they do well. Next team is West Coast Eagles, who came off a disappointing loss to GWS. Yeah, so GWS came out as the better team that day. Why can't Eagles play away? I do not understand why they can't play away. They need to get their socks on and run around, get some dirt on, play away, kick some goals, and bloody make finals, because this is their last chance. Otherwise, they'll miss the finals next year. So I'm a bit disappointed with the Eagles, that loss. It's reasonably confusing seeing them play the best footy at home and then losing to teams away. Bulldogs game was convincing. Saints, nah. Fourth quarter, bloody, you just trotted off. GWS, fourth quarter, just trotted off. Geelong, half-time, trotted off. Lose by like 97 points. It's hard to see an Eagles team away playing crap, so I reckon they'll bomb out in the elimination final. And lastly, the most Elvis team of all, other than the Melbourne Demons and Geelong Cats, is the Western Bulldogs. Their midfield is strutted with amazing players. Marcus Bontempelli, Lockie Hunter, Tom Liberatore, Adam Chalord, sad he got injured. Then you got your ruckman, you got Stephen Martin, you got Tim English, you got Josh Dunkley, Jason Johannesson, Caleb Daniel. So many midfielders in their team. Bailey Smith, you can't forget about Bailey Smith because he is the most hottest AFL player ever. And you got to give credit for that because hot AFL players are very, very sexy. Hit the comment section. Subscribe if you think Bailey Smith is hot, by the way. So, yeah, I reckon Bulldogs are going to be up there for the premiership window, and I reckon they'll make the grand final or maybe lose the prelim, but we'll never know. All right, so that was the AFL banter today, and I've talked about my Ashe, and I've talked about COVID. Now, let's get started on one of my new segments, brother and sister rivalries. Okay, so I haven't had any siblings. I'm an only child, and I have autism. That's it. But I haven't had a sibling before, so comment below about your brother and sister rivalries because I want to hear it. Because I know that brother and sisters fight and get into scuffles over so many stupid things like oh my God, you got my toy. Oh my God, that's my toy. And then they fight over it. And then the parents go to your room, go to your room. You take your iPad off, or take your phone off. And then that's that. So the parents absolutely wreck the siblings. And then afterwards they feel traumatized and they go to school and they will cry the whole day, which is not great to see. The good thing is that I'm an only child. I get all the attention. I get all the presents. I get all the money and I get everything. And also, it is good when the doors are shut and I need to do some business. So that is that. So brother and sister rivalries are a big thing nowadays, and hopefully, all brothers and sisters, brothers and brothers, stepbrothers and sisters, stepsisters and brothers, and stepbrother to stepbrother and stepsister to stepsister, treat everyone equally, love each other as friends, love each other as family, and treat your brothers and sisters with respect. Lots of love from Ashe Boy 2K21. Hit up the comment section below and subscribe if you want to know about some brother and sister rivalries, because I know the sister rivalry, which is quite hectic, and the older sister has always protected me from all those crazy stuff. So the next segment I'm going to talk about is the fast finishing English Premier League season. Chelsea finished 4th and we qualified for the Championship League, which is amazing. Suck we lost to Aston Villa in their last game, but we're still in the Championship League. Liverpool made a very good last month of football, and they are sitting on 3rd indefinitely, so season done. Man City were the champions, which I really liked. I really wanted Chelsea to be the champions. Hopefully they win the UEFA Championship League. I haven't seen the score. I don't know when the game's on, because I'm more an AFL person than a soccer person generally. But I love the EPL. It's one of the best sports in the world. Probably the best sport in the world, because AFL is the best sport in Australia, because we are alpha. Look at big fucking muscles. Look at these. Look at these. Testosterone powers. That's how, sorry about flexing right there, but you got to flex your calves, you got to flex your muscles. You got to be very excited about everything in life. You got to love life. You got to do what you love. Do podcasts. Be a singer. Love acting. Do what you want to do. Even do ice skating. Try ice skating. Like, I haven't done ice skating, and I really want to do it when I come over to Melbourne, because my best friend loves ice skating, and she is the queen of ice skating. All right. The next topic. So I mentioned about cheap beef jerky. I've talked about COVID in Victoria. I talked about AFL banter and controversies. I've talked about brother and sister rivalries. I've even talked about the fast finishing EPL season. I talked about TAFE today. Now there's a special someone that I want to mention on this podcast. Her name's Millie. And she is such a amazing and beautiful person. I love her to bits. So she came back into my life last week and we chatted for a bit, and yeah, I reckon we would be such a compatible thing, because I love her and she makes me really happy, and I reckon why I like her, because she's got similar interests to me, and I want to like go over to the grand final, and if it's like Melbourne and Geelong, like we would watch it together. They'll be very very romantic, 100%, and I am missing her right now, so hopefully I get to hear from Millie sometime today, because I've heard from her this morning and she was really happy that I got to mention her in the podcast, and she's really excited about it. So shout out to her. Love you lots, and hopefully I get to see you when I come over to Melbourne later this year, because you're one of the most beautiful and heartfelt girls that I ever spoken to, and you make me happy deep in the heart. and I really hope we can find some sort of connection. So one of the friends of the podcast really want to talk about this. So her name's Lexi, great person. She said, what's your favourite thing about her? So my favourite thing about you, Lexi, is that you're a very, very vibey person, and you got a very amazing personality, and you are a slay queen. Millie is a slay queen, but you are a slay queen. So I respect that for you, and you deserve a lot of love, and hopefully you find your boy of your dreams and you get everything in life. So lots of love, Lexi, and you deserve the best. Shout out to Charlotte as well, and Gracie, Sienna, Francesca, Allegra, May, Emily, Francis, all the girls, all the girlfriends in the house. They deserve a lot of credit because they're all such beautiful, amazing, young, individual girls, and they deserve all the best. For whatever they want to achieve in life, do what you want to do, guys, because they're absolute legends. I love you all. You deserve the best. Millie, I love you so much. Please have a call or something. Call me or hit me up on House Party. Let's talk about the Post Malone concert. So it's probably been about, I can't believe it's probably been about 2 years since I've been to a concert, which is crazy. So I went to the Post Malone concert in late April, and it was one of the best concerts I've ever been to, other than the Midnight Oil concert, which I went back in 2017. So the Post Malone concert, it was an amazing concert. So I went by myself, which was good. I like going stuff by myself sometimes. And there was a guy sitting next to me. He was like, oh, how's it going? What's your name, Ashe? I was like, Ashe. And he shook my hand, and it was really good meeting some of the fans. And Post Malone, when he came out, it was so good. He was saying like, and then I am better now, and like, and you really cycle and mellow on the mark on the really just nobody. And then he also sang Rockstar, and he smashed his guitar on stage, which was so cool. It was so cool to see Post Malone smash his guitar on stage, because it was very epic. And he was wearing this shirt, and it was like pretty much like Australia all over. And it was so good, and I really liked what he was wearing. So credit to Post Malone. Hopefully he can come to Australia soon, because the COVID stuff has just been so shitty at the moment, and hopefully it's all good. So that's what I've spoken about, Post Malone. So the next topic on my beautiful journal, which I got from one of my dad's close friends, advice to give to yourself in the past. So this was sent in by Romy, one of my best friend. Advice to give you to yourself in the past. So what I would say right now to my past self, so probably my year 12 self, is that I'd say, well done for not doing ATAR that year. And I would say, just do what you want to do and meet friends and make more friends that love you for who you are. Because that is what you deserve, you know? You gotta do what you love doing, otherwise you don't have a purpose in life, you know? You gotta have a purpose, you gotta have the drive to do what the fuck you want, you know? Do podcasts if you love doing podcasts. Do singing if you want to do singing. Do acting if you want to do acting. If you want to be a superstar in sport, if you want to be a superstar in community service, if you want to be a superstar in the work industry, if you want to be a superstar in the hospitality industry, do what you want to do. If you do not know what to do, find a hobby right now, right this minute. Comment below your hobbies, because they'll be really good if you comment below your hobbies and hit me up on the DM section, because you need to subscribe. You need to subscribe to Ashley Boy 2K21. If you don't subscribe, get fucked. So please subscribe, otherwise you'll get posed. And you do not want to get posed like this, because this pose is the most amazing pose in the entire world. and everyone deserves to get a pose once in a while. And the last topic of today is people that do not have a brain. So I had a couple besties, Romy and Sienna, and they both lost their brains. They couldn't find their brain. I think it went to Culture Kings or something. Because I can tell you this, your brain goes to Culture Kings. It gets, that big rugged jumper from Culture Kings. It's oversized. They get the oversized shirt. They get the daggy Culture Kings jeans. They get the TNs, the brain TNs. They've got a gold chain here, a gold chain here. They got a big gold chain here, and it says Brain Dad. And then they come home, then they go into your head, and then what happens is the next thing you say is, Ashe, you dog. Ashe, brah. Got my TNs on. I got my stash in my bum bag right here. And they got the brain bum bag right here. So please, I beg you, if you want to be an Ashe, good on you. But if you fall into the trap, into being an Ashe, please be a nice Ashe. And do not hit someone or do drugs, because those two things is not good. And you do not deserve to be mug. And the last topic I'll be talking about today is your dreams. So a couple nights ago I had this weird dream and my dad was in it. My dad was there, I could see him, I had a full conversation with him. And I woke up and bloody hell, it's another experience I had with Dad being in my dream. It was crazy. It was so real. It was like right there, and it was really, really happy. It was crazy. Like it was probably like a couple hours dream, because I was in deep sleep. Because what happens, right, when you sleep, like you start sleeping, and then probably an hour in, it feels like the bed is sinking in. Like you're going down into your bed, and then you're in the dream. It's pretty much what it feels like. You feel like you're sinking into the dream, and then you're in your dream. And bloody hell, was a really good dream, and I really loved it. Hopefully, I have some epic dreams tonight. Or maybe not. We have to wait and see. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for listening to the Ashe Boy podcast, hashtag number 3. So my next podcast, I might have a special guest on. So if you want to be on the podcast, can you please hit me up on the DM section. Hopefully Byron, Brian and Josh, if you're watching this, can you please come onto my podcast? And Sam, can you please come onto my podcast? I'll have one of you each week, and then we can talk about some banter stuff and hopefully make the hour podcast. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for listening to the podcast today. I hope you have a lovely day, you legends and massive ace. Shout out to all you lovely people. I love you, Millie. Have an amazing day and have an amazing night. See you later, guys. I love you all.